Okay, I signed on a little early. Move so you can be seen. There's Holly. What's up, Holly? Look at everyone jumping in. Rick, Catherine.
What's up, man?
Oh, Holly looks busy. Christy, Amy. Oh, nice. Look at that. Love it.
Hey, Scott, quick question before you start this. I have a question about balance.
Get rid of those chimes. Why is Catherine hiding? What is she doing? You're reading in the dark. Mr. Zisk joining us this evening. Maybe he can't hear me yet. Jamie, can you hear me? There he is. All right, guys. How's everyone's Tuesday night going? Good day today. Rick's in his car. Look at that. He's ready to go. Ready to take off.
I picked my wife up at work.
There we are. Melinda. Everyone catch Melinda's video today, her story. Her and Amy did the interview.
Not yet.
I was pretty blown away. I love Melinda's passion for this product. And I feel like that's something that's super important. And she said something in her interview, Melinda, forgive me for bringing it up. It's still fresh in my mind, that she was watching, the interviews I was doing, and her story didn't compare, but it brought her to tears. So let me tell you something. Your story not only compares, it's better because it was more important to you. Everyone has their story and everyone has their thing. And some of these people, maybe it didn't bring them to tears because they've told it umpteen million times already, and it kind of lost a little of its feeling by now. They've been doing this 4.5 years, telling the story every week. It loses something. Yours is fresh. Yours is like, I don't know. When you start getting a little teary-eyed when you tell your story, that's real shit right there. That's all I mean, excuse my language, but it is. And it affects everyone that's watching in a positive way. So great job, you two. I'm super proud of you. Amy jumped on the video bandwagon. I'm still ridiculously proud of you for doing that. So
thanks.
Melinda done 2 already. She's jumping off. Anyone else wants to get them in, make sure, message me. I'd love to interview you. Message each other. Get it all going. These videos are going to keep your viewers entertained. As Kevin explained to a bunch of us in that meeting the other night. Was it Monday? Monday night? No, I don't know. Sunday, whatever meeting, whenever we had that meeting with Kevin. If you keep your viewers entertained with something other than Thrive, or even if it's Thrive related, but they're still entertained, they're coming back. And even the watchers, they're not going to unfollow. They're not going anywhere. I have someone that has been following me for 2.5 years. I went through St. Anne's with her, and I know Rick knows her, and I know a few other people on the team know her. And I'm going to make that announcement this week that she actually jumped on as a promoter. But I told the story the other day about religion, that I pushed it out, and I was not ready to accept it, and I didn't want anything to do with it, and it bothered me for a long time because I was brought up Catholic. I was an altar boy. It was shoved down my throat. My dad made me go to church every Sunday, whether I wanted to or not. We sat in the back and didn't even pay attention. It didn't make sense to go, honestly, but that's what Dad wanted, and that's what we did. So as soon as I was old enough to make that decision, I was like, nope, I'm not going, and I didn't go. And I stayed away from it, and I was anti for a long time, strictly out of spite because, well, let's face it, I was kind of a douche, and that's what I did. And I didn't want any part of it. Sorry, Jamie, it's the truth.
Scott, hey, this was in my car. This was in my console.
Look, you went to church with me. You know how this goes. But she identified with that story, and that's the story that put her over the edge. It made no sense to me that because I pushed religion out and now I'm willing to accept it, she was like, you know what? I feel exactly the same way. Let's do this. I'm tired of watching. You never know what is going through someone's head and what they're going to relate to get them to say, I'm ready to do this. So that's, stories are yours and journeys are yours. Embrace them, move forward with them. That's all. It's important. Go ahead, bud.
So I just want to jump on. I want to continue what you were saying. Obviously, I saw Melinda and Amy's video today. Rick and I had the opportunity to see that story live at one of our locals. And, you know, super, super powerful story. And Melinda, at first she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed to cry. And do not, like that, you've got the power that, you know, to that passion. And still has it. You know, it's still hard for her to say because it's personal. I've been there. I know what it's like to put out personal stuff. You feel like you're telling people personal stuff, which you are, but that's what's going to drive you. It's going to be your why. So don't be afraid of that. I mean, I know at one point I was for a while, but you know, keep with that, run with that, use it. It's yours to have. So keep it. It's definitely a good part of it. What's that?
Good job. And let me ask you guys this, just by show of hands, how many of you guys have seen me get a little teary-eyed telling a story? How many people have seen Jamie get a little teary-eyed telling his story? Rick?
No, I'm laughing.
No, Rick Prince.
Oh, okay.
Rick, a little up there, it gets emotional.
Yep.
And just, you know, just for those of you that are afraid of, like Jamie said, afraid of what people think, get that out of your head. Because I will tell you guys, the first time I ever told my entire story was in Natick. And some of you saw that for the first time, and that was really, really hard for me to tell. And I've been doing this a long time. I never worked up, for lack of a better word, the balls to tell everyone what really was happening. And then people understood where I came from and why I was angry all the time and why I hated everything, because I felt I wasn't worth it. You know, I went through that whole period of, well, I failed my family. What else is going to happen? You know, what else can I screw up on? And it's a horrible circle and cycle to be in. And it takes a lot to get out of it. And if you're on your way out of it by feeling comfortable enough to tell that story and feel that emotion and get it across to other people, you are going to reach such a broader audience of people, and they're going to relate to you because you're human. You're portraying your emotion, and it's a big thing. So good job to you. Good job to everyone that's let that much emotion out to tell their story, and I know it ain't easy, believe me. So that was what I wanted to open with. I appreciate everyone coming in. What do you got tonight? Yeah, we're gonna let Kim open because I've already blah 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 for a while.
Okay, but I wasn't prepared for this, but I think what I'd like to talk about tonight is plugging in. I know a lot of us, we get super busy with our lives, our day-to-days, and we're just trying to fit into our days, you know, into our little nooks and crannies when we can, you know, do our reach outs, our personal development, and then dialing in for calls, team calls, whether it's our team calls, the Le-Vel live calls on Mondays, Tuesdays.
Any other team, it doesn't matter. As long as you're plugging in, it doesn't matter.
And I know and we need our downtime and things like that. But sometimes we also need to sacrifice too, and try and get on those things. And I know that it's hard because you know you need that downtime. If it's family time, I would never say, you know, ignore your family. But I think to be successful, we need to figure out what's most important. And I know for me, I was watching a lot of TV and I wouldn't plug in. And since we came back from Vegas, I think we've watched 2 hours of TV, maybe 3, maybe 3 hours. And in that time that I used to spend watching TV, which we'd have the TV on for 3 hours a night, instead of doing that, I'll watch podcasts, or, you know, I'll start reading my book. I'm writing in my journal and things like that I find to be productive. So I was willing to give up that mindless television so I could, you know, work on things that would make me hopefully become a better leader. I'm not, like I said, I'm not telling anybody to give up anything, but I think it's important that we try and make the time to you and to get you to be where you want to be. And if you want to be successful, you need to plug in. Also, when you're driving in your car, I don't know how many of you have long commutes. You can plug in then. I know I was plugging in a lot in my car, especially when I lived in Winchendon, because to drive anywhere, to get to a grocery store, you're at least 15 minutes in the car. So I would listen to that 24-hour training call just to refresh my memory. Or I'd listen to the 24-hour recording, you know, a couple times a week. Just any little bit of plugging in is really going to help you, because it's going to get you motivated and keep you motivated. And I think when you unplug, sometimes it's just, you know, you feel like you kind of forget where and why you're doing it.
Sure. By show of hands, how many of you have listened to the new recording that Paul did for the 24-hour call? Good. Well, most of you are good. No, but it's good. And I can tell you this, I feel like this is a better one, although I don't know if I love it yet. You guys love it, or do you think you don't love it, Amy? I feel like it's getting...
I wish he would focus more on customers. He targets a lot of promoter stuff on his calls.
That's kind of what I was thinking, because you can't really, when you have a customer that's interested, it's hard to send them to that pre-recorded call now, and they've listened to it and they go, well, what's all this talking about promoting? I don't want to do any of that. And they kind of get a little like, I'm not really sure. At least my people have. So it's always a good idea, if that's a last resort, to listen to it with them. Do the three-way and just say, hey, we're going to do the three-way call, or we're going to listen to the CEO talk about it. It's just a recording. Listen to it with me. And I just want to be on in case you have any questions. And that's kind of how I did it the couple of times I've used it. But I wanted to ask you guys, while we have you all in front of us, and I can kind of scroll back and forth to see, you know, what you guys think. Kim and I are working on a new promoter video and possibly a possible customer video that you can send them, that we can maybe do more of the three-way call type thing, but they can watch it at their leisure in their house and not worry so much. I'm finding a shitload of customers do not want to pick up the phone. They just refuse. They don't want to answer you guys. They don't even want to reply because they think you're going to scam them into a sale. And I know that they've been beaten up before by other companies, or I know the auto ship scares a ton of people because they've had to fight with some other company to get the auto ship to shut off, and they don't understand it. So what do you think if we did some type of video, and even if we did a collaboration, you know, I'd have, you know, Jamie, Rick, Christy, Crystal, do little pieces, and I'll edit it all together so we have a video that looks like we kind of all did it together. What do you guys think of that? Is that all right? And you know, I'm throwing ideas out there. Like I know I have more time than most of you, so I want to do this to the best of my ability. I know in our leadership group yesterday, we talked about the packets, and I know a lot of you guys don't remember the packets, don't even know what the packets are, but it's basically a little binder of all the product PDFs printed out, my notes that I originally done and stopped handing out for whatever reason, laziness, I don't know what reason I stopped handing those out for, but I have been updating them. So there's a lot of good information in there and basic questions that keep getting asked over and over again because obviously new people keep coming in and they don't know. So there's that. There's a bunch of support tickets with the everyday questions all in there on a piece of paper, and you guys can actually just thumb through it. If you're hanging out with your friend that's thinking about it, you can kind of like show them stuff instead of going through the computer or your phone. You guys think that's a good idea to bring back as well? Yeah, you got. I personally like the visual. I love the computer. Don't get me wrong. I'm a total tech geek, but there's just something about seeing it in writing. Like you can tell me something 10 times, I can read it on a web page, but if it's on, if it's on company letterhead and looks all official, I'm more apt to believe it. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's my age. I have no idea.
Plus, I think too, it's a lot easier to, get access to it instead of going, okay, well now I got to go on my computer and I got to get to this file and look in this folder and try and find it. Or you got to try and find it from the cloud office. So if you have it in a binder, it's definitely a lot easier.
It's easier to carry a binder around too. Not everyone carries a notebook everywhere, but they can throw a binder in their car. Like,
Not to mention the fact that you can like put sticky notes on when you have, things happen or you asked a question. There are just so many ways that you can manipulate it. It's a lot easier. Like I'm with you. I personally prefer paper and a binder and having that information in front of me rather than scrolling through a million PDFs on my computer.
Okay. Jamie Lee and I have been working on that. Kim's helping out with that. We're going to put it all in one big giant PDF and put it up on our team drive, which is also in the works. Much like Elise's Google Drive, we're going to have a Vanquish team drive where we have our own documents there and in preparation for our Team Vanquish page. So I'm just trying to get all our ducks in a row. I'm trying to get all of you guys. I hate the word educated because you're all pretty well educated, but prepared, is that a better word? Get everyone prepared for kicking ass in 2.0. Because I'm telling you guys, I keep listening to these leaders every day that tell me, 2.0 is going to be it. 2.0 is it. You missed it when it first came out. You jumped in after. This is going to blow up. And I have to believe them because I watched these people that joined not too far before me, and all of a sudden they're enormous because they got a little head start. And I feel like if we don't jump on the bandwagon for 2.0 and we get left behind, we're going to be pissed at ourselves. And I know we are. And I know every single one of you here has potential for greatness in this company. There's no doubt in my mind, everyone here can go 200K, no problem. I know it. You just have to believe. You have to keep reaching out. You have to build that free network, and things happen. It's once you put the work in, you find out, in 2 months, boom, 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 people all start signing up. You guys have all been there. Those of you that have been around for a while, you've seen it. Someone's got a hand up. Go ahead, Holly.
So I have a question. I don't know what the documents are. How are those documents different from the ones that were put up by Crystal and Nikki?
I don't know what Crystal and Nikki have. They haven't given me those. But I believe more often than not, they originally came from Jamie and I might be wrong, but we were the first ones to put all those together about a little over 2 years ago. So I'm not really sure what they have up.
Are you just talking about the files that they have on the Live Free and Thrive pages?
No, they put out with a new promoter package.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I'll ask Nikki to share that with me. Was that something that they did?
It's on their team page.
What's that?
It's on their team page.
All right, I'll go take a look. I honestly haven't seen it. We actually pulled back from some of the leaders' pages, and not for any other reason than seeing the same messages down the line. And I've been on Elise's page more often than not because she's kind of pushing me in a certain direction. So that's kind of where I went. And it gets daunting, you guys, when you're on, 8 or 9 pages and 20 groups, it gets kind of crazy. So I apologize that I didn't see it, but I will definitely take a look at it. If pages, Rebecca, welcome letter and all that stuff. Okay. Yeah, it's probably pretty similar to what we had back then. So I will definitely look at it after this. So that's really all I had to go over tonight. Does anyone else have anything to add in? Go ahead, James.
So I caught the last half of your call with Cindy today,
Yes.
which is exciting. So if anybody hasn't caught that conversation with Cindy, Scott did a live today with Cindy. The portion that I caught, because I was doing a live at noon myself, was the chicken list. And she started talking about the chicken list. And I'm telling you, it sounds so friggin' funny. You're more than welcome to touch on it. But, you know, I think as a group here, if they haven't caught it, it's definitely worth catching that video. Or if you want to cover some of your ideas now tonight, well, the group's in front of you. But, you know, that chicken
No,
list.
you go ahead. You take the lead, man. Let's do it.
So, you know, on the portion of the call I caught, they were talking about the chicken list, and I didn't know what it was until she started explaining it, which was obviously to make a list of people that you would be chicken to approach, email, or even think they need. And what she was talking about is most likely the people that are on your chicken list are what you perceive as people as successful or leaders, or probably just self-runners. And what we do is continue to reach out to just everybody, but really who in this business in a direct is people that are successful, right? That's what we want to be, and that's what we want to try to be. That's why those people are on your chicken list, right? I have a chicken list, and as soon as she said, I'm like, I have a chicken list, right? And those are the people that you'd want to go talk to because they're, you know, probably self-motivated, self-successful entrepreneurs. And again, those are the people you want. Those are the people you want on your team. To be successful and to run with it. So it just totally went boink right there when she's talking about the chicken list in the short version of it. So just to say it, so if you haven't heard it, there it is. I mean, it's just.
And she said those people probably have a chicken list too, right?
Everybody has a chicken list.
Yeah.
Everybody mentally has a chicken list. Absolutely. So that was my part.
So how many people here, after hearing that, have actually reached out to somebody on their chicken list?
Heidi did. Good job, Heidi.
Yeah, I reached out to somebody and she actually told me I will never do that. And I said, okay, well, I'm here when you're ready to change your mind. But I knew she was going to say no because that's her personality. I knew it. And she'll probably say no 10 more times, but I'm going to keep reaching out because she needs it. So.
Yeah, don't give up. That's persistence and consistency definitely wins the race at the end of the day. You know, as we've said before, and some of you have heard it time and time again, we always say, your friends are waiting for you to fail. They're waiting for you to give up so they can say, ha, glad I didn't do it because they quit. And I'm telling you, it's horrible to say it, but I have a couple hundred people that are waiting for me to give up. And I get messages all the time, still doing that Thrive thing, right? Yep. I have no intention of quitting. And you know, it's okay. I know a lot of them just like to bust balls all the time, but it tells me that they're still watching. They can't be angry about it. They can't be upset about it. They can't be against it because they're still paying attention. So keep that in your mind. You know, there's always going to be the haters. If they were truly haters, you'd be gone by now. They wouldn't even care what you were doing. You know, they're paying attention to you because maybe in the back of their mind, they go, man, I think I need this stuff, but I'm not going to tell him I need it. I'm not going to tell her I need it. You know, and I get it all the time. And it is what it is. They eventually come around. And that's another thing Cindy said. They always come around. So if you guys haven't caught the videos, I didn't really say much on them. I just let the people I interviewed speak for the most part. But there were 3 great ones. We did 2 today. Yeah, Cheyenne was sick, so she had to reschedule. She couldn't even speak. So we told her we'd reschedule for another time. Her son was really sick, and then she caught it. So it's not a big deal. But tomorrow morning we have one with Sheila Falzoni.
Can't wait.
Sheila's going to be awesome, and I know she's going to drop some good stuff for you guys. And then Marissa Griffin, and I don't remember who the third one is tomorrow. Dana. Dana, 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So Dana's going to be throwing down some real. Those of you that know her know that she's gonna be Dana tomorrow, and I'm super excited. Love talking to her, and I hope you guys can all join us. So That's all I got. Anyone else?
I honestly love listening to Sheila's story. And her story is what motivated me because, you know, being a mom and working in the school system, she found a way to become successful working her business. And, you know, she showed that you can do it working a full-time job, but it takes sacrifice. And I think that for me, that's what really inspired me, was that she wasn't gonna quit. So, yep, seriously, if you get a chance to check out her story tomorrow, definitely jump on.
Cool. That's all I got, guys. Anyone else wants to add in, feel free. We're good. I got to figure out how Holly did the hands up thing. I like that. Where is that?
All right. Press your box.
Yep.
And then at the bottom, there is the mute, stop video, share content, participants, and then the more button.
Yep.
Press the more button and you can raise your hand. Yes or no.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. I can clap for you.
Look at all the people trying it right now. Good job.
You might not have it because you're a host.
I can send you
but I like
that.
Good job. Now you guys can all play with those while we're here. I can see some stuff. That's good feedback, you know, and it keeps the flow going of the calls. I know a lot of you guys are doing Zooms now with your teams and stuff, so I think that's pretty cool. Thanks. All right, guys. Have a great night. Hope to see some stuff. You know, we're always here when you need us, so give us a buzz. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you.